Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the prelim fights for UFC Fight Night, Waterson versus Hill. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card and our first fight on the prelim. So in our first fight, we have a late minute replacement at lightweight, Brock Weaver versus Jalen Turner. So Jalen Turner is jumping in for Frank Camacho. So he's coming in, taking that short notice fight. How's this fight right here is really to get to the point, I'm not really impressed with Brock Weaver's technique, his striking, his mindset, his IQ out there. I haven't really been seeing anything in his fights. Even the fight he won, he was getting picked apart and got lucky by, I think he got caught with some knees while he was on grounded, and he got a DQ victory. Outside of that, he's been getting pieced up for like 99.9% of his time in the octagon. So I'm not impressed with what he brings. So striking's kind of loosey-goosey out there. Defense not really non-existent. Having not really seen a lot of strength. He's getting manhandled by everybody out there. So I'm not impressed by nothing Brock Weaver's bringing. He got a full well-rounded game set, but I don't see him as a UFC caliber fighter. And going against Jalen Turner, I see the only thing that would make him an interesting matchup for Brock Weaver, for Jalen Turner, if he was really a solid wrestler or solid grappler, or at least can be decent enough of a grappler or a wrestler or or of the already above, and would have like a grappling approach against Jalen Turner, try to put him on his back a lot in this fight and be relentless at that. That would make it interesting, but I have not seen no impressive wrestling or grappling from him inside the octagon. So I really see Jalen Turner as the longer, taller, faster, sharper. Only thing that Brock Weaver might do is hit harder than Jalen Turner, and that's just a mic. I feel like Jalen Turner probably hits harder than Weaver too, but so really he's taller, he's longer, he's faster, he's sharper, and more technical than Weaver. I just see him keeping Weaver at distance and picking him apart and putting him away early, not early, but putting him away early in the fight and in that first round. So in this fight, I got Jalen Turner via first round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the heavyweight division, Alexander Romanov versus Martinez. So look at Romanov. He has some decent striking at him. He fought in kickboxing or something. So he has some nice hands to him, some nice kicks, a good arsenal, and he has some very solid wrestling. I don't know what level he competed at, but some good technique to his wrestling. I just don't see him. He hasn't fought the best competition yet. So I can't really rate his wrestling as much as I want to rate it. But with his style, he can cause a lot of problems for a lot of heavyweights, at least on the the entry to mid level. I don't know about the upper level echelon of the UFC's heavyweight division, but where he's at right now, he can cause a lot of issues, and I can definitely see him rising up the rankings. But will he have an instant impact? I don't think so, but I think he definitely be a problem for, like I said, the entry level where he's at to like the middle level, and then after that point, I gotta see more from him. But for what he got now, with the skill set he has and the skills that he has, I see him as a problem. Now look at Martinez. I mostly remember him for upsetting Jerome LeBanner. Like he was kind of brought in to, give Jerome LeBanner a win or something. I guess they didn't respect him. He went out there and just took him down and I think put him in a headlock or something, got a tap out of him. And then he fought Crow Cop. I think he was actually out striking Crow Cop. And not like a 30-year-old or 20-year-old Crow Cop, but like a basically 40 or was 40 Crow Cop. But still, that Crow Cop still did a lot of work, especially with the roids. And he was out striking him to I think Crow Cop opened up a cut with like an elbow or a knee, something like that, and the fight was stopped. And it wasn't even the worst cut. But either way, basically with Martinez, I see a fighter. I don't think his grappling is all that. I think compared to a guy like Jerome LeBanner, who's really just a kickboxer, he can be a problem. But when I just look at his ground game, I just say it's about average at best. So he don't really have the best ground game. But what he does have, he's extremely tough. I think he took head kicks from Crow Cop, body kicks from Crow Cop, never even look phased. He got a great poker face, so he's very tough. He's not got to easily put out of there. So I feel like he'd give Romanov a tough fight and not going to be a guy that's going to lay down from Romanov. But I feel like Romanov is just a more well-rounded fighter, especially like with that grappling aspect. I feel like on feet, Martinez will have his moments. I feel like for the most part, Romanov's going, when Martinez is gathering momentum or gaining momentum, Romanov's going to lock him up and likely just put him back on the ground and make him work back up to his feet. Maybe by that third round, he might have him tired and Romanov won't be able to hold him down. He might have some success on the feet, but I feel like those first two rounds with the takedowns and the control time is really going to lean the fight to Romanov. I think Romanov can definitely hold out in that third round and not coast his way to a decision, but rely on the first two rounds to win a decision in this fight. I feel like Martinez will give him some fits, but Romanov's wrestling and well-roundedness and being the more well-rounded fighter and having that grappling advantage is going to allow him to edge the decision and like I said, win those first two, and maybe he had to grit out that third round and just to get like a 29-28 victory over Martinez. So in this fight, I have Alexander Romanov via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the women's flyweight division, Sabina Mazo versus Justine Kish. So look at this fight right here. Got the young prospect in Mazo, and you got Kish, the veteran, the hard pooping on herself veteran. Like, she can. When I look at Kish, I don't see the most technical fighter. I don't see the strongest fighter. I don't see the smartest fighter. I don't see the most talented fighter. What I see is a fighter that gonna make do with what she had. Like you've seen these fights, like she literally pooped on herself because she wasn't really using technique. She was kind of muscling her way, trying to get a position or get out of position. She wasn't using technique. She was using full on stomach and trying to squeeze every little bit of any bit of strength she had out of her, and she literally squeezed a couple turds out of herself and pooped herself. So when I look at Kish, not the most technical fighter, but she will find ways to win, and she will give it her all. So that's one thing to respect about Kish. But look at this fight. So Mazo has the reach, she has the speed and the technical advantage. Kish isn't the best wrestler. She'll just try to muscle herself. I think muscle. And she could have a little bit of success against Mazo, who's still green, in my opinion. But I feel like what Mazo's going to do in this fight is that Mazo's not going to be like a fighter that's going to have all this reach and all this speed and all this talent and just like just sit there and let Kish get off with his little leg kicks here and there and get away. She's going to fully exploit that reach. And she's a fighter that's, no matter who she's fighting, she's going to put up volume. So she's going against a shorter, less talented fighter, more experienced, but less talent, and give him a lot of reach and a lot of speed. And I feel like Mazo's going to use that reach, and she does statistically throw up a lot of volume in every single fight. So that's what's going to be. It's not like Kish is a proven finisher. She isn't. Mazo's not a proven finisher either. But Mazo is a go-getter. She's going to go out there. She's going to put up volume. Against Kish, who's really, like I said, Kish is not going to be the fighter that's going to be so technical or the fighter that's going to be putting up such a high pace. She's going to be a fighter out there just trying to win by any means necessary. But I feel like in that fight where she's not going to get a finish, Mazo's work rate and her output is what's going to put her over Kish. So in this fight, I have Sabina Mazo via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the lightweight division, Roosevelt Roberts versus Matt Frevola. So this fight right here, Roberts is a very talented fighter. He got a long frame for 155. Got a well-rounded skill set. Good striking, good subs, decent wrestling. But he does have issues when he goes against a better grappler. Like a lot of times when they take him down, he struggles in the clinch. He struggles on the ground. It takes him some time to get back to his feet. As we saw with Jim Miller in the Jim Miller fight, he made a amateur or a novice mistake or a rookie mistake. Instead of trying to just stay tight on his armbar, try to fold his opponent, he tried to punch and slam his way out of the little armbar from Jim Miller. And you know Jim Miller is known for his submission. He's a very high level black belt. Not just a guy that just had the black belt, but a real deal black belt. And with real deal black belt, you can't play around in that guard and try to slam them out of a submission or try to punch your way out. You got to hold on to them. You got to stack them, and you got to find that right moment to slide your elbow out. And I think he didn't do that. I think he tried I can get my way out of this, not knowing who he was against, or maybe forgetting, or just in the moment thinking he could get away with it, and he paid for it. Then against Vince Pichel was able to keep his striking close and use his size, use his experience, and make it a very tight fight for him. And Roberts didn't really shine in those two fights. Now going against Matt Frevola, what I see is a guy that can present the same issues and will present the same issues. Because Frevola has a solid striking, the well-rounded fighter. I think Roberts is more talented, has a higher ceiling than Frevola. But Frevola is not going to be a guy that's going to be out there and let Roberts work. He's going to make Roberts uncomfortable. He's going to present a lot of different angles. He's going to be kicking his legs, kicking his body, maybe even spinning heel kick up top. Just mixing things up. But yeah, he's going to be mixing things real well against Roberts. And Frevola, when he's going against fighters, he's fought against like a fighter like Jalen Turner and fought against a fighter like Crazy Bob Ross or Violent Bob Ross. And he went against some solid fighters. I said Bob Cook, but yeah, he went against some solid fighters, kind of similar frames, similar skill set. And he's been able to beat them. Like these long, lanky, very talented, very well-rounded, very dangerous lightweights. And what he do, he's go out there, make it a very smothering fight. Don't allow them to don't allow them to have that range. Don't allow them to dictate the fight. Don't allow them to get comfortable. Stay up underneath them and not allow them to work. And I feel like he's shown that he could beat a fighter like Roberts. I know Roberts is a young fighter. He can make adjustments, but I don't feel like this is a fight where he's going to make an adjustment. I think Revola's going to go out there and kind of stick to what he's been doing and work a similar game plan as he's beat fighters like Jalen Turner and fighters like Violent Bob Ross. So I feel like in this fight, he's going to be smothering him, be close, being tight, and now allowing Roberts to exploit his reach, getting takedowns, making him have to work back to his feet. And it's relentless. And that's one thing. Frevola got a crazy gas tank, crazy heart. Chin not the best, but his heart is crazy. You don't knock him all the way out. He's going to be there nonstop. He'll take your biggest shot and keep coming. He'll keep going for takedown after takedown after takedown. He'll be up on you relentlessly. You really got to stop and you really got to do something to shut him down. And I don't feel like Roberts has shown the ability to do that yet. And I feel like Frevola's going to fully capitalize on that. And like I said, to smother him and be up underneath him the whole fight. So in this fight, I got Matt Frevola via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the welterweight division, Bryan Barberena versus Anthony Ivy. So look at this fight right here. Barberena is clearly, as far as accomplishments, the biggest name that Ivy has ever fought, the most accomplished fighter Ivy has ever fought. And some people could say, oh, Ivy is actually he's a taller fighter, he's a more well-rounded fighter, he's a better technical striker, he's a better technical grappler. But Barberena has never been a guy to say, oh, this guy is such a technical striker or such a technical grappler. He's a fighter that goes out there and wins. So even though his style might not be technical, it's a style that he knows how to win in, and a style he's very effective with and against high-level competition. So all that technique and stuff is kind of irrelevant. Like, technique is important and all, but at the end of the day, what's more important than anything in fighting is winning. Like, technique you can teach other people, you can look good, and like more often not going to get you to the dance and win the dance. But a winner is going to shine over technique all day. Like, hard work, and like I said, hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard, or whatever the case is. Work is always also in other cases it's just these guys that just have these awkward styles and they're effective at being awkward and they're effective with their awkward style. And Barberena is one of those guys. You see him drop Leon Edwards. You see him hurt Vicente Luque, and it was actually almost kind of walking away to this end. Vicente Luque is one of the most technical strikers and grapplers. Luque fought Ivy, he would finish him in one round. But yeah, and also not to knock Ivy, the guy he lost to in Christian Aguilera, even though he lost to Sean Brady, that's a very talented fighter right there. And he showed like his striking is up there, and he's a very dangerous fighter. So it's like no knock on him for losing to Christian Aguilera. But how I see this fight is I really looking at Ivy's fights. He has a good frame and a well-rounded skill set. I don't really like his grappling control. I feel like he's kind of loose on top, so a lot of times people can reverse him or get from underneath him. So he be having a top position, but like he don't be tight as he needs to be in these positions. So I don't feel like as good as his grappling could be, or people feel it is. I don't think it's as good as it should be. It's not where it needs to be. His striking not really enough power, more of a volume striker. Now I'm going against Barberena, who's a volume striker, packs more power, who's going to be in his face and make him uncomfortable. Especially coming off a loss and with his back against the wall, I feel like Barberena is going to be outworking him, making him uncomfortable, and put him in positions like he's not really, like I said, he's not comfortable with and like outworking him. So in this fight, I got Bryan Barberena via decision. Now to our next fight we have in our co-prelim, well, it's not a co-prelim, but in our next fight we have in the flyweight division, Matt Schnell versus Tyson Nam. So look at this fight right here. Schnell versus Nam. I see Schnell is the cleaner boxer, the cleaner grappler. Faster hands, faster overall, slick footwork. Now I see Nam is the veteran. Definitely have the bigger names and the bigger accomplishments on his resume. Kind of is more so an upsetter guy than more so a guy you could look at and say, oh, this guy is consistent. This guy is a proven winner. And this guy is proven to have done things in his career. Instead of a guy that's like, oh, he did catch that one guy or he caught that other guy. Like, yeah, all his biggest wins come from like big upsets when he just catches his opponent after either early or being way down in the fight. So, but then again, like I said, Nam has been in there with those guys. But like you said, most of those wins against those guys, or his big wins, have all been upsets. It hasn't been him just being that proven winner and just putting wins back together. So he kind of had that journeyman-like career. But I see this fight right here. I feel like Nam packs more power. Schnell has shown me kind of a glass chin. Even though he did get knocked out by a Rob Font upper weight class, and Rob Font is no joke. I think he got knocked out by somebody else. And then I think he got knocked out at flyweight by a guy who didn't go on to do very much. And it wasn't the best shot either. So when I look at Schnell, I see a very talented fighter with a very good ground game, but not the best offensive takedown or the best offensive grappling as far as getting his opponent to the ground. So I feel like he'll have too much success as far as with the grappling unless Nam chooses to entertain the guard on the ground or chooses to entertain the grappling. I don't feel like Schnell's offensive takedowns are that great. And then on the feet, I feel like Nam can I feel like Schnell can outbox Nam like pretty much all day. But I feel like Schnell at points has lapses in his striking defense, and like I said, his chin is kind of glass. And I still see Nam looking for that right moment, especially as a guy who's known as an upsetter, and finding those moments where great opponents show moments of weakness and capitalizing. I feel like Schnell shows moments of weakness where he don't bring his hands back to his chin, and gets dropped or finished off, just taps. And I feel like Nam will be able to set him up, crack him. Like I feel like Schnell will have success early, but eventually Nam will find that moment with a lapse in Schnell's defense or in his striking, catch him with a counter, crack him, and finish him off in the second round via TKO. So in this fight, I have Tyson Nam via second round TKO. Now to our co-prelim headliner we have in the lightweight division, Billy Quarantillo versus Kyle Nelson. And how I see this fight is, Quarantillo is just an all-around better fighter. I think Nelson packs more power, and his punches are really I think his left hand or something. That's just about it. But I see Quarantillo is the more technical striker. I see him as a faster fighter, faster striker, faster punch, faster kicks, moves fast, is a better grappler as well. And I was really to see him, like I said, Kyle Nelson got that one punch, but I feel like Quarantillo has shown to be tough. Unless you really put him out there, like just catch him trying to land one big shot is not going to be enough. Especially for a guy that's going to be mixing up and trying to take you down and work and outwork you. And we've seen Quarantillo is a workhorse, especially in his last fight. So I feel like Quarantillo is just going to outwork Nelson. Like Nelson going to probably try to land a big shot, but that's not going to be enough. Or the odds of that aren't the best to try to say put away a guy like Quarantillo. Like, you're really just coming out there just to try to look for one big shot. It's not going to work. I mean, it can work, but against a guy like Quarantillo, you better hope that one shot put him all the way out, because he's going to recover and he's going to get stronger as the fight goes on, and he's just going to keep working. He's a young fighter with a phenomenal heart and phenomenal work ethic. So, like I said, looking for one shot against a guy like that typically isn't the best, because usually when you look for one shot, you got looking for guys that's going to make mistakes or guys that are going to slow down. Like when they start slowing down, then you can land that big shot. But Quarantillo is not going to be slowing down, and he's going to continue to mix it up. So looking for one shot is going to be very hard to find. And like I said, that's not very good betting odds. And I feel like Quarantillo will be taking him down, mixing up on the feet, outside leg kicks, inside leg kicks, ducking under, get takedowns, faking overhands, and getting takedowns, securing control, and fighting a smart textbook fight and beating Kyle Nelson via like a workman type performance. So in this fight, I got Billy Quarantillo via decision. Now to our prelim headliner, we have in the lightweight division, Karma Worthy versus Otman Azaitar. So look at this fight right here. I'm really not impressed with Azaitar or his brother, or Otman or his brother. They both kind of show like they're supposed to be kickboxers, or supposed to be this and supposed to be that, but I have not seen a lot from them outside of just coming and just swinging until their opponent goes to sleep. And that might work against Worthy, because in this fight he might realize he's a can again, and then like just go back to being a can and just let somebody run through him. But at this point, Karma Worthy has proved to like that. But at this point, Karma Worthy has proven that he is here to stay, at least for a little while. He is not, him being here and finding success is not luck. And I see in this fight, he's the longer fighter. He's a more technical fighter, at least a more composed fighter. When I see Otman, I don't really see much composure. And I'm not impressed by him beating Timu Paklin, who has been, like, came in as like a little bit of hype. And for the last 5 or 4 or 3 or X amount of years, has really fallen well short of his, expectations, and just been a guy who just ends up on other people's highlight reels. So knocking him out really don't mean much of anything. So I'm not really impressed with Azaitar. He's undefeated, but like I said, I'm not impressed with what he does. And from what I'm saying, or what I can judge him from, I haven't really seen no grappling from him. All I've seen is him some power and just willingness to trade. But going against Karma Worthy, who's really going to use his footwork, use his reach, and take advantage of Azaitar's aggressiveness. I just see Azaitar playing right into Worthy's game, and Worthy capitalizing, counter him, dropping him, or walking him into his power shots, dropping Azaitar, and then tapping him out in the second round. So drops him, counters him, which drops him, then taps him out in that second round. So in this fight, I got Karma Worthy via second round submission. And that concludes my fight predictions for the prelims of UFC Fight Night, Waterson versus Hill. And as always, thanks for watching. But at this point, Karma Worthy has proven that he is here to stay, at least for a little while. He is not, him being here and finding success is not luck. And I see in this fight, he's the longer fighter. He's a more technical fighter, at least a more composed fighter. When I see Otman, I don't really see much composure. And I'm not impressed by him beating Timu Paklin, who has been, like, came in as like a little bit of hype. And for the last 5 or 4 or 3 or X amount of years, has really fallen well short of his, expectations, and just been a guy who just ends up on other people's highlight reels. So knocking him out really don't mean much of anything. So I'm not really impressed with Azaitar. He's undefeated, but like I said, I'm not impressed with what he does. And from what I'm saying, or what I can judge him from, I haven't really seen no grappling from him. All I've seen is him some power and just willingness to trade. But going against Karma Worthy, who's really going to use his footwork, use his reach, and take advantage of Azaitar's aggressiveness. I just see Azaitar playing right into Worthy's game, and Worthy capitalizing, counter him, dropping him, or walking him into his power shots, dropping Azaitar, and then tapping him out in the second round. So drops him, counters him, which drops him, then taps him out in that second round. So in this fight, I got Karma Worthy via second round submission. And that concludes my fight predictions for the prelims of UFC Fight Night, Waterson versus Hill. And as always, thanks for watching.